Hello world, this is Jeffrey, JGB146 Blake, coming to you with a new type of video I'm going to try to be doing on the regular. Today's Thursday. This is going to go up on YouTube here like really quickly after I finish it. And I want to get in the habit of actually putting this out on Wednesdays if at all possible. So that's the plan going forward. Just want to do it weekly. And what we're going to cover is upcoming tournaments in the next 10 days, with some exceptions. We'll talk about like high level tournaments that are a little further out than that. We'll probably just talk about the next like anything within the next month for high level tournaments. So let's dig in. So starting off, first thing coming up this weekend is Madison Regionals. Since I've never done this type of video before, I've never mentioned it before, and you're either going without me notifying you about it or you're not. This is another event by Top Cut Games. It's being run by Jimmy Ballard. They did Denver Regionals, so I expect them to do a pretty decent job. I know the regular entry fee was $55 for this event, and by now, if you haven't registered, you're going to be paying extra. So, Madison Regionals, hey, let's get it. Next event that I want to talk about, big event, North American International Championships. Thought these were being called the Intercontinental Championships, but I guess maybe that changed. In any case, this is happening in June, late June, June 21st to 23rd in Columbus, Ohio, and it's going to be a huge tournament. Well, I'm sure there will be well over 1,000 players. You get massive CP at these events. I expect this to be one of, if not the biggest tournament of the year. And go win points, get your invite. I can't make it. I'm not getting my invite this year. Sucks, but that's what it is. Okay, next, we're moving on to a local level, and I'm going to do things. I'm covering tournaments in what I consider my local area. So tournaments that there's a chance that I would actually travel to, because I figure then anyone that knows me could benefit from these videos, anyone in my immediate area, and maybe it'll draw in some people to events that I'm hosting as well. I don't know. So the way we're going to organize this then means we're going to go by state. So we'll start with Oklahoma just because that's where I'm at, and then we'll go alphabetical in the states around me, which means Oklahoma, then Arkansas, then Kansas, then Missouri, and then Texas. I'm going to hit all the tournaments that are coming up in the next 10 days, and some of these you'll hear about again next week. So we'll do that. Let's get it. First off, we have the Unbroken Bonds League Cup. That is a cup being held at Alien Games in Jinx, Oklahoma. There has been some flooding in Jinx, but it's looking like it's clearing up. They're finally slowing down. Part of the problem has been that they've actually been releasing a lot of water from our dam at our large lake, and that's been flooding everything along the Arkansas River in Oklahoma, at least for quite a ways. Anything close to the river, and Jinx is right off of the river, so it's led to some spillover there. In addition, we've gotten a freak ton of rain, and that's caused problems because the rain has nowhere to go because the river's full. So that's starting to clear up. It should be good by this weekend, I think. They're slowing down the water release from the lake, and that's going to lead to letting the water that we get from rain, if it happens again. It's nice clear sky today, but that'll let it all have somewhere to go. So I look forward to this weekend being a good weekend for cups, and this one at Alien Games is a good one to go to. It's hosted by Amy Featherstone. She's a very experienced organizer. The entry fee is $15. The first 40 players get a promo, yada 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 yada, all the standard stuff, right? So what highlights you need to know, right? It's in Jinx. That's right by Tulsa. It basically is Tulsa, right? Registration is at noon. It is a $15 entry fee. And that's pretty much it. I will have this link and some of the highlighted information in the comments on YouTube. Next, Wizards Asylum. This is the next day. So Amy's was on June 1st. This is on June 2nd. This is Sunday. Registration note starts at 11 a.m., not at noon for Wizards. Again, standard format. Again, $15 entry fee. This one's hosted by Stephen Wallace. I'll be judging at this event, so look for me there. Don't know what else to say. I really like the Wizards store. Maybe I'd advise you to dress coolly, because sometimes it can get hot in that store. They don't always have the AC going the way that I'd like it, because I'm a big guy and I like it kind of chilly. They don't always do that. So I always go in there in shorts if at all I can. But other than that, it's a great store. And I look forward to judging you in the finals. Alrighty. Next up, looking out a little bit further at the Dice Addiction League Cup. That's my own store. We keep it comfortable there. Again, registration is at 11 a.m. Trying to get things rolling, get things out. And immediately following this cup, we're going to have a league challenge. That challenge will also be standard format, Unbroken Bonds. And during the challenge, it'll be hosted while Top Cut is going on for the cup, right? While Masters Top Cut. Anyone who doesn't play in the cup should play in the challenge, because we're also giving away a full art Lucario Melmetal Tag Team GX to a random recipient, a random entrant, right before the last round of the challenge. So we'll draw a random number based on where you're placed in the tournament at that point in time. Again, this is Dice Addiction in Tulsa, kind of close to downtown Tulsa actually, on Saturday, June 8th, a week and a few days from now. $15, just like all the other ones. And then finally, wrapping up things for Oklahoma, we have a Stillwater tournament. This is another league cup, so we're getting 4 in 2 weeks. 10 days, see 4 league cups in Oklahoma. It's a great time to play in Oklahoma. This one, like I said, is in Stillwater. It's at the Knights Arms store, hosted by Jeremy Owings. They again have registration starting at 11 a.m. and play will begin at 12. Admission is $15, and I'll be judging there too. Right, I'm judging 2 of the 4, and I'm hosting another one. So I'm going to be all over the organizing of Oklahoma this quarter. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to Arkansas. We have a league challenge happening tomorrow, so you probably, hopefully, already know about this. Otherwise, you may not be hearing about it from me, unfortunately. But it is what it is. This one, because it's during the week, registration starts a bit later. It's at 3 p.m. at the Big Kids at Play location in Van Buren, Arkansas. Entry, because it's just a challenge, it's only $5. And play actually begins at 4:30, so it's a long registration period, 3 p.m. to 4:20 p.m. Yeah, I've never been to the store. I can't speak too much about it, but hopefully it's a great experience. And with that, we'll go ahead and move on to the next tournament. So here we're at another location doing the kind of back-to-back thing. There's only one listed for Kansas, but this is sort of the Kansas City area. Collector's Cash is holding a league cup in Lenexa, but again, basically Kansas City area. Like I said, you'll be able to click location, see exactly where it is. And this is kind of a quarterly thing that Collector's Cash does alongside another store in Sedalia, Missouri, where they do back-to-back cups, kind of the same way that Dice Addiction and the Night Arms store in Stillwater are doing things this quarter, and as well as Alien and Wizards this current weekend. So I'm competing with Collector's Cash, or actually I'm competing with the other store, but hopefully we'll just have different audiences. But I will say that from what I've heard, Collector's Cash is a pretty intense tournament for, you know, but in a lot of cases for the better. If you're looking to play in big events, but you've never been to a regionals, this can kind of get your feet wet. This one will be a slightly higher admission fee. It's $20, but they routinely give out at least a box to their first place finishes because it's that big a tournament. You may have more than 100 players. It may be as big as a cup that is held at a regionals. They really get a lot of players in. That's why their registration is so much earlier than most locations we've talked about. Their registration starts at 9 a.m. because they want to have time to get in all those rounds from having lots and lots of people playing. So, yeah, if you want to go there, I expect it to be a great event. And like I said, it partners up with another one we'll talk about here in just a minute. I'll just skip. We have this weekend an event in Springfield, but we'll come back to it because we've been talking about the Linux Collector's Cash Cup, and the day before that, registration starting at 9:30, is an Unbroken Bonds League Cup that's just a ways away, held kind of cooperation. It's like a back-to-back, like one day after another, within driving distance of each other in Sedalia, Missouri. Again, standard, expect a big turnout. They are actually guaranteeing a booster box to first place, along with the playmat and all the championship points and everything. In second place, getting 18 packs, and then it breaks down from there. Pretty steep breakdown there. I don't think I've ever gone from a booster box to first place to 4 packs for 5th through 8th, but maybe that's what they have to do, and I'm sure that that smooths out a little bit if they get more players than the minimum needed there. Note that with this one, actually we'll click back over, pre-registration is required for the Sedalia Cup. They have only 50 players allowed in the cup, so it's going to fill up, and if you're wanting to play there, you need to call the shop or get on Facebook. And let's skip back over. We do not see anything about pre-registration in Collector's Cash, so if you're interested, you might check the link and check them out further. But yeah, if you want to go to both, definitely pre-register for the Sedalia one on Saturday. Otherwise, you may end up just going to Collector's Cash on Sunday. Okay, like I said, coming back this weekend in Springfield, Missouri, we have a cup being hosted by Jerry Latham. It's out of the Game Master store there in Springfield, and Jerry tries to do a good job. He's a great guy. I really like him. He can be kind of intense. I will note that this store has received some complaints. I've been there, I've played, I never had any problems there. The criticisms that I have heard from other players that I know that have gone there are that the organizer has played in his own events at times. I don't know if it's true or not. I've just heard it from lots of sources, so I'm repeating it. I've heard that there are times when a person who is involved in deck checking also plays. So if you go, I guess watch out for that. If it happens, report it. Maybe Jerry will see this and make sure he puts a stop to anything questionable going on there. I know that at times they've had limited seating, but they don't say anything here about requiring pre-registration this time. I will say if you're going, it's probably worthwhile to send a message via Facebook and or give a phone call here to see what's going on as far as their registration status, because they have in the past filled up. It's a pretty small store, The only complaint I had when I was there was that it was really packed. But maybe for the fourth quarter, they're expecting a lower turnout and they're not requiring the pre-registration. I don't know. I'd give them a call if you want to go. But, like I said, that's this weekend, and I'd rather see you in Oklahoma. Okay. Skipping around all the way down to Texas. We have a challenge going on today. So if you are hearing about it from me, it's probably already too late. But it's in Dallas. Registration is at 6 o'clock. And gaming looks like it'll start play at 7. $10 admission. Oh, I guess I should have noted that too back when we were looking at Game Master. One benefit, one little perk here, their master's admission is only $10 for a cup. That's intriguing. Juniors and seniors only have to pay $7. So that might make it worth checking out, even though I've heard some questionable things. But that's your call. I'll probably go back there at some point. Anyway, back to this challenge. It is a $10 entry fee to the challenge. And that is kind of steep for a challenge in my experience. Usually challenges, at least in the Tulsa area, are like $5. So a little high, but I expect that, you know, things may be a little different in Texas. I don't know. I've only been to really kind of northern Texas stuff. I've never been all the way down to Dallas for challenges or cups. So maybe we'll get some feedback and people can chime in and say in the comments below what they think about, you know, this location. Additionally, this weekend in Irving, Texas, we have a League Cup at Apex TCG. Registration there starts at 10 a.m. It does have a $15 entry fee. It is standard format, Unbroken Bonds. I think basically everything except the one challenge in Arkansas that we've talked about is standard format this time around. So pretty much everything is standard. There is a fundraising aspect to this tournament. They're supporting suicide prevention. I don't know how the breakdown for the admission goes there, as far as, you know, if that comes out of the prize support or the store's just donating stuff or what's going on there exactly. But you can definitely contact Christine or check out their website on Facebook to get more information there. Once again, all the information I'm talking about, we're going to have recapped. Well, I say all the information. The highlights about each tournament I'm talking about will be recapped and posted in the video information below. So you can click links to get to all of these tournament pages. And then after that, next weekend we have a League Cup in Dallas at Boardwalk Games. It is, again, a standard format on the 8th. Registration starting at 11 and $15 entry fee. All the sort of standard stuff. That is on Saturday the 8th, so a week and a few days from now. And then immediately following that on Sunday at the Sci-Fi Factory in Keller, Texas. There's another League Cup. Registration running from 11 to noon once again, 11 a.m. to noon. This one is a $20 entry fee. And I didn't mention it every time, but you should really just assume that every cup you go to needs you to bring a deck list or to fill out a deck list on site. Obviously you're bringing your own deck as well, and that's just kind of how it goes. This is the last thing we're talking about this week, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up at that. Yeah, with that, this is Jeffrey, JGB 14.6 Blake, signing off.